The sheriff's voice boomed across the sun-drenched field. "Hands where I can see them." Karen shrieked from behind the wrought iron gate, pointing at me like I was a home invader. "He locked me out of my own neighborhood." Meanwhile, my DEA badge glinted in the light, and the very gate she had stormed through was wired for surveillance. Karen had no idea she just walked straight into a federal investigation. Freeze frame. Yep, that's me. I'm the guy whose private well Karen tapped to illegally water her garden. What did I do? I flushed her entire system with livestock sewage. And no, buddy, that was just the beginning. You're probably wondering how it got to this point. 6 months ago, I bought the ranch. After 15 years taking down drug labs and witnessing suburban communities rot from the inside behind white picket fences, I wanted something real. Cows. Silence. Stars. Peace. I found it, 20 acres just outside the HOA's official boundary. My mistake was thinking outside the boundary meant something to someone like Karen. Karen Trumbull ran the HOA like a private military junta. She had a golf cart with blinking yellow lights, a clipboard with carbon copies, and binoculars that cost more than my saddle. I hadn't even unpacked when she rolled up to my gate, twice, with thinly veiled insults. She hated my red barn, said it clashed with community tones. "I'm not in your community," I replied. She hated my dogs. "Their barking might disturb retirees." "My dogs have more manners than most retirees," I said. She hated that I parked on gravel instead of a concrete driveway. "Gravel doesn't crack like your HOA's plastic sidewalks," I told her. It was love at first fight. The real drama started with the drone. I was brushing my horse when I heard the faint buzz. Looked up. A silver drone hovered above the stable. Karen, apparently, needed aerial evidence of code violations. I waved at it, then calmly went inside, grabbed my 12-gauge, and turned it into confetti. 20 minutes later, she was at the intercom, howling. "You destroyed private property. Flying drones over private land is illegal," I reminded her. She spat. "You just made an enemy for life." I smiled. "Karen, I work for the government. Be more specific." I hadn't planned to pull the DA card. But when Karen filed a formal complaint to the HOA about my unregistered property and setback violations, I realized I had to get creative. Because I didn't just move here for peace. I moved here because this land bordered a suspected cartel laundering operation. My ranch was strategic. We were in the middle of a months-long sting. And Karen's nosy little vendetta? It wasn't just annoying. It was dangerous. Still, I played nice. Invited the HOA board for barbecue. Karen refused, of course. But 2 members came. 3 beers in, they admitted she wanted to annex my land under some obscure clause. I laughed. Then I asked if they knew she was tapping into my private well. They didn't. My water system was independent. I noticed something was wrong when my pressure dropped at 4 a.m. I installed a monitor, traced the spike to a PVC pipe snaking under the fence into Karen's flower beds. Suburban parasite. So I rerouted the backup livestock tank, which holds gray water and waste, into that pipe. 2 days later, her roses were dead. Her lawn reeked like a backed-up toilet. She came storming to my gate, foaming. "Did you sabotage my irrigation?" The only thing I sabotaged was my faith in humanity. She threatened to report me to the water district. "Might want to check your plumbing permits first," I said. She went quiet. For a week. Then came the petition. Karen went door to door collecting signatures to absorb my land into the HOA. Half the people thought she was nuts. The other half signed just to get the big scary man off their road. One neighbor later apologized. Said he had food poisoning when she showed up. Then came the letters. Remove all visible firearms. No country music after 6 p.m. My favorite. You are being watched. One night, motion sensors lit up. I walked out in boots and boxers, shotgun slung over my shoulder. Karen stood near the livestock gate, crowbar in hand, phone in the other. "You cut off my water," she shrieked. "I'm restoring my rights." I locked the gate behind her. She panicked, dialed 911. "He's holding me hostage. I'm the HOA president." By the time the sheriff arrived, she was pacing like a lunatic. I handed him my badge. He nodded. Karen didn't notice the 3 unmarked vehicles surrounding us. She'd just given us legal cause to escalate the sting. And then she blew the whole thing up. Karen filed an official report accusing me of harboring drugs in my barn, complete with shaky photos of feed sacks and compost piles. She claimed they smelled like chemicals. The county had to escalate it. My handler called, chuckling. "Did you know Karen just reported you for running a meth lab?" I sighed, told him to hold off. I had a plan. We've been watching a neighbor linked to cartel cash drops. He was careful, slippery. We needed someone dumb enough to poke the bear. Karen was that someone. We let her keep going. First came the annexation letter, full of legalese and a $200 fine for my unregistered barn. I returned it with a sticky note. "You might want to check the Federal Registry." She showed up in her HOA uniform. "Did you receive my notice?" "Yes." "Do you intend to comply?" Karen, last guy who told me to comply, wore a ski mask and held an Uzi. "You're underdressed." She left, but we knew she'd be back. 2 days later, another drone. High altitude. Fancy. We jammed it, retrieved it, and left it on her porch with a note. "Smile next time." Next, she hired a PI. Cheap suit. Long lens. Old sedan parked behind some trees. We waved. Took his photo. One agent ate popcorn while staring directly at his camera. Then it got interesting. The PI wasn't just watching me. He was watching our real target. Karen thought she was cracking a suburban cartel ring. When a neighbor's runner made a drop, Karen photographed it. Sent it straight to the runner's email. She thought he was law enforcement. He wasn't. He was cartel. Our digital monitoring flagged it instantly. Karen was now tied to a federal investigation. Next time she came to my ranch, she wore body cam glasses and carried a folder of evidence. Exterior lighting, non-native plants, unpermitted barn. She was filming like it was a courtroom drama. I called the sheriff. He told her to leave or face trespassing charges. She hurled the folder at my gate. Inside, a conspiracy web of photos, maps, and arrows connecting my barn to the neighbor's place. It was absurd. It was perfect. We decided to bait her. Left a sealed, crate-marked Fertilizer 50 near the barn. Pretended to talk about shipment routes. Her drone filmed it all. 2 days later, we intercepted her message to the runner. She wanted a deal. She thought she had proof. Thought she was the hero. The runner agreed to meet. Karen chose my ranch for the meeting. Bold or stupid, it was a gift. We set the stage. Agents in position. Cameras ready. Karen showed up at golden hour. Her camera glasses rolling. "Let's make this quick," she said. She handed over a flash drive. "Everything's on here. I want immunity, and I want you to deal with that neighbor. He's breaking the rules." She handed over maps, timelines, notes. "I think he's got partners. Maybe even cops." That was it. The signal was given. But before we could move, she called 911 from my ranch. "I'm negotiating with a criminal. I need backup." The sheriff arrived, lights off. She waved like royalty. "That's where he keeps the barrels. I have photos." I stepped forward. Flashed my badge. "Ma'am, you're trespassing during an ongoing federal investigation." "No, I'm not. This is neighborhood land." "No, it's federal land. And you just offered intel to a cartel affiliate. That's obstruction. Conspiracy. Illégale surveillance." She blinked. Then agents swarmed. Cuffed her. Read her rights. She still claimed she was working undercover. Even in the cruiser, she ranted about HOA codes. Later, I found a letter under my fence. Karen's final gift, a citation for unauthorized surveillance equipment. The irony made me laugh. But I wasn't done. 2 days later, the HOA board emailed me. Interim compliance review. Karen was gone, but they wanted to carry on her work. I replied with a photo of my badge. Then I got to work. I had Karen's files. Found receipts. Drones bought with HOA money. A PI paid from legal defense funds. I sent it anonymously to every homeowner. Then I filed for the HOA's original charter. Buried deep was a clause. 60% vote could dissolve it. I hosted a barbecue. Told everyone the truth. Karen's mugshot helped. The vote passed. 68% in favor. Hua di son ven. Karen's trial came months later. I testified. Her defense? Misguided, but well-meaning citizen. Footage said otherwise. Convicted, interférence, un refus de surveillance, obstruction. 2 years probation. Huge fine. Career ruined. Last I heard, she moved to a place with no HOA. Peace returned. Kids played. A community garden bloomed on my land. One day, I found a letter from a widow. Thank you for giving us our neighborhood back. I kept it. Next to the gate, I put up a new sign. Trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be interrogated. People laugh. That's fine. Because around here, we remember what happened to one Karen. And we don't plan on letting it happen again.